before I begin, I was going to say, I have such a big act to follow. Those two speeches were absolutely incredible. But instead of telling you about my life story and how I got to where I am today, I want to try and prompt you to think instead. So I want to try and present a philosophical viewpoint for you guys to challenge, for you guys to think about. So as you can probably tell, my speech today is about salvaging the objectivity in the subjective. So let me start with a question, which is, if you were to go just outside to this gorgeous city of Sydney and look at the iconic postcard image of the Sydney Harbour Bridge next to the Opera House, would you say that that is objectively beautiful? What about when compared to these images in New York and even Paris? So something about me is that I love travel. I love everything about it. I love experiencing new things, new cultures, meeting new people. But most of all, I love it when I look at those images of New York and Paris, and it prompts me to think. So these are some of the places I've been. Just last year I visited 12 countries alone. Going up Southeast Asia, exploring, volunteering as well. And one of the things I discovered was that this idea of beauty. So a perfect example was when I was in Florence, Italy. I had the honor of visiting the statue of David by Michelangelo. It stands at 5.17 meters tall and is made of a single block of marble. And so when I was there, I had a lovely tour guide who told me this story that when Michelangelo was sculpting the work, the town mayor, Pedro Soderini, went up to him and told him that the nose was too thick. Imagine that. Going up to one of the most ingenious creators of the time and telling him that the nose was too thick. So Michelangelo grabs a hammer and chisel, climbs up the scaffolding, blink blink, the dust falls, and the master sculptor asks Mayor Pedro Soderini, how is it? Which he replies, much better. Now, of course, Michelangelo changed nothing. He just told him that he did. He did not attempt to explain that the colossal statue was meant to be seen from afar, where the statue would appear normal. Instead, he trusted his own artistic beauty. But why is it you think that Michelangelo trusted his interpretation of beauty over the mayor's? Do you think that his interpretation has any more credence than the mayor's? And on that note, why do we assign architects and city planners to design our cities and buildings, rather than the combined opinions of ordinary citizens? So there's this perennial idiom, which I'm sure you've all heard, which is, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Now on the surface this seems logical. My definition of what constitutes beauty will be different than yours. We all have different tastes in books and beaches, food and film, and even whether or not one believes that pineapple belongs on pizza. But why not question this first? Because if this is all true, then surely it goes to follow that beauty only lies in the eye of the beholder. So in the next 5 minutes, I will attempt to dissect this very statement and prompt you to think that we can salvage this objective beauty within the ocean of the relative. So I'm a business student, so I don't think I have qualifications necessary. I can't swat this, right? So I want to try to do a series of simple examples to try and convince you that there does exist objective beauty. So okay, don't judge too hard, but this is, on the left is my painting of the Starry Night. And on the left is my post-impressionist counterpart, Vincent van Gogh's The Starry Night. So, be honest here. So, hands up if you think that my drawing is better than the one on the right. 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Okay, and vice versa. So, who thinks that Van Gogh's is better than mine? So, the overwhelming majority, of course, suggests that Van Gogh is better than mine. So, but then we need to question why. Why is that? Is it the colors, the proportion, the shapes, the style? Of course, you probably believe it's all of this, and it is objectively better. It's an extreme example, but it does prompt us to think, and it does lend credence to the fact that there is objective beauty. Now, I'm not saying that there's an absolute metric, and nor am I saying that I know everything, but I want to question further. So, let's move on. This, instead, is Munch's The Scream, next to Van Gogh's. So, again, same exercise. Who believes that The Scream is more beautiful than The Starry Night? Okay, and vice versa? Okay, that's surprising. I didn't actually expect that. But the point was that they are extremely different paintings from extremely different styles of context. So we can't say whether one is more beautiful than the other because they're different, right? It's like comparing Baroque and Romantic music, or literature from Renaissance and literature and the modernist literature, or even I forgot my last example, but yeah. Okay, so it seems that this attempt to collapse the hierarchy of beauty and this attempt to equate all things beautiful as equal has somehow led, ironically, to this chaotic situation where nothing is considered beautiful, and we devalue the very word of beauty. So back to the city of Sydney. If we can't determine what is beautiful and what is not beautiful, and what is more beautiful than anything else, or any method, any objective scientific method to compare two things, then how do we go about undertaking the task of carving out a third path and determining a list of criteria to what interpreting any stimuli, to somehow judge what is better than the other, what one thing is better than the other? So do we ascribe objective beauty to some sort of beauty property? Do we come up with a metric? To be honest, I don't actually know, but the bottom line is that if we continue to say that everything is beautiful, and if we devalue the very word of beauty into something that is completely ordinary, we lose one of the most fundamental forces of our lives. And to borrow from another proverb, this only makes beauty skin deep. Thank you.